All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about Lorcana. I haven't made a Lorcana video in a while now. And at the time of me recording this video, it is August 10th. And it looks like there's about 8 days left before the release of Lorcana, the official release day. So just to kind of give a heads up there, this website that has the little tracker is called Lorcania.com, as you can see up here. And I've also found another pretty cool site here called Dreamborn.inc. This site is pretty clean, and I've been using this lately to kind of check out the cards. Looks pretty interactive the way they have it. And you can make decks on here if you make a site and stuff, and all that good stuff, make a collection. I'm not sponsored by any of these websites I use. I'm just using them because they're a good resource, guys. I don't I don't get any kind of sponsorship type stuff from them. Just when I see something good, I try to tell you all about it. Okay, so there's a YouTuber called Steadfast who I don't know who they are. I'm not even subscribed to them, but I saw that they had something talking about Lorcana top 5 meta decks. And as you see, this was posted a day ago. And you can watch this video if you want to see what he has to say about it. As you see, you can just copy this web link up here if you want, or you could just type this into the YouTube search, and it will find it, pretty much right away. But today's video is just gonna be going over the list that this guy has put out. I don't think they are from him in particular. I think they are just lists that he got from the Dreamborn.inc website, or maybe they're on some type of app they're using. I'm not exactly sure, but he made it sound like people are starting to do a lot of play testing online, and he even kind of linked something at the end here. First of all, hang on, let me go back. Yeah, I don't know why it's not. Let me turn the volume off and hit play. Yeah, so like you see, like there's some decks here, and it looks like the same format as this one. Like if you just go to decks, popular decks, it kind of has them all right here. It looks like you can sort by like all the different kinds of stuff. Very cool, very cool. And it looked like he even showed like some gameplay on what looked like an app. I'm not sure. Again, if anyone knows, please comment in the comment section below. I'm trying to just kind of blitz through this video real quick, see if I can find what I was talking about. Oh, okay. If I scroll up like this, I can see more of the stills that I'm going through. It's a little easier like that at the bottom. Yeah, I don't see it. Sorry guys, if we run across in the video, we'll definitely be talking about it. But anyway, so let's just kind of go right into the decks themselves. Whoa, we went way back, or way too far forward. So the first list we're going to talk about is actually this Ruby Sapphire list. And for anyone who follows my channel for Lorcana, I'm sure if you follow my channel, you'll know that I think Ruby Sapphire is going to be very powerful for a combo deck. But this list here in particular is not combo. This looks like it's just a very solid control style deck. And it makes sense, right? For those who don't know, be prepared. Let me get back to the cards themselves here, and let's just search up Ruby and Sapphire. So it's going to run cards like, Maleficent. We know what this card does. 9 costs, 7/5. Quest for 2 comes into play and banishes a character. That's a very powerful effect, obviously. And I'm sure it's also going to run Dragonfire. Just pay 5, banish chosen character. You can't go wrong with that kind of ability. And then from blue, you also have very powerful removal in Let It Go. This card right here. I think most people know this. And then one last, let me scroll down. Sorry, guys. I'm not trying to make y'all dizzy. And then one last thing is, this develop your brain so you can help, push, how do I say this? You're going to be able to look at the top 2 cards of your deck and kind of start sifting through what you need, right? You'll put one card in your hand, the other on the bottom of the deck out of the top 2 cards. So you're going to be able to start cycling through your deck pretty decently. And the list that I was running had a lot of inkable characters. And of course, you're going to have access to Aurora, Dreamborn Guardian, 5 costs, 3/5. You can shift her as early as turn 3. she quests for 2, and she has ward. She doesn't have ward. Your other characters gain ward. So she's going to give ward to everybody and just, make it a nightmare for your opponent. So yeah, I will say Ruby Sapphire seems very, very powerful as far as the access that they have. And and be prepared. That was the other one that I forgot to mention. That's the other. I think I forgot. Maybe I mentioned it. I don't think I did. This is be prepared. 7 cost. You can sing it technically if you have a character big enough, and just banish all characters. Just banish everyone, get them out of the way, and just go for board control. Or if you lost board control, right, you'll be able to play Be Prepared and get it back. Theoretically, that's the idea. Especially if you can sing it with someone like this. You see they're running Aladdin. You see they're running Maleficent. They're running all the stuff I just said. They're running Hades. That's another 7 cost. And it looks like they're going to be ramping a little bit with Mickey Mouse Detective and Grandma Tala. That's probably what they were talking about up here, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. You see how both these cards, when this character's banished, you may put this card in your inkwell face down exerted. And then Mickey Mouse, when you play this character, you may put the top card of your deck into your inkwell face down exerted. So you see what's going on there. Just you're going to ramp to the good stuff as fast as possible and just try to outpace your opponent. Just play bigger, stronger characters. Or, what are they called in this game? I can't remember. Whatever these actual individual cards are called. As far as the characters that quest. So that's for Ruby Sapphire. And then another list. Actually, let me see. I should critique it real quick too. I don't know how I feel about Shield of Virtue in a deck like this. Scar is just very strong. Maui, very strong. Bell, late game, very strong, but early game a little bit lackluster in my opinion. Phil, yeah, that's fine because he's the support character. Shield of Virtue is the one that... Is that the support one? Hang on a second. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. A ready chosen character. Excuse me. I was thinking of Scepter of Arendelle. I was thinking of the Scepter of Arendelle that blue has, where it gives support. But no, this readies your character. It does cost 3 to activate this ability on your item, but it's not the worst thing in the world. I don't think this is unbearable. But I also don't know how much I like it as a 3 of. But we'll have to see. So a theory that I have, and by all means, anyone, if you have any theories about what I'm talking about or something similar, don't be afraid to add to the comment section below. But I think in decks like this, it makes sense to run a decent amount of items where you kind of just use them as your ink early on. Like, see how this is an inkable card, the Shield of Virtue? Well, the idea is... You're just trying to get to, in this deck, you're trying to get to 7. Well, excuse me, as high as 9. I don't know about Maleficent, by the way. I don't know if I'd run this card. I think I would cap out at 7 and then just play cards from there on out. But who knows? Maybe we'll see how the deck plays. But Shield of Virtue, I kind of see as like this card where you'll just play it until you have, 5, 6, 7 resources or ink down. And then you actually play it for what it is as an item instead of playing it as ink. I'm sorry if that was unclear, guys. What I was trying to say is, early in the game, Shield of Virtue is probably just good for throwing down as a resource. And late in the game, that's more when you'd want to play it. Because otherwise, you're going to fall behind on tempo, right? Because your opponent is going to be playing cards that... How do I say it? Your opponent's going to be playing cards like characters, more than likely, right? And if you're just playing a Shield of Virtue, well, you don't have any character now. So they could potentially start outpacing you early, and then there might not be any way to climb back. But then again, there might be in a deck like this where you can just wipe the board. So anyway, overall, I do think this is a good deck. I think it's a little bit all over the place, and I don't think Maleficent, the 9-cost dragon here, is really that ideal for tournament play. But who knows? We'll see. Because I'll say it like this. It's only a 5 toughness or 5 willpower. Well, Maui right here is a 5 cost. So it's 4 costs cheaper. And it can just come into play and destroy Maleficent like the turn enters play. Because doesn't that card have Rush? It does. Yeah, so like this card right here can literally just come in and smash something. Now, yes, this card has Reckless. and it can't quest. It doesn't have any lore. But I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing. Right, I think this card is just meant to be what it is, where you play it on turn 5 and you start cleaning up the board. And on turn 5, 6/5 stats are massive, so it should be able to bully anything that's on the board. So, okay, yeah, so just to kind of summarize with this deck, I think that I like the little bit of ramping it has. It's not doing the song, which I do like the fact that it's not running the song, because and I'm talking about the One Jump Ahead song. I'd rather play a body like Grandma Tala and Mickey Mouse. Yes, they ramp you Dawn. There's the one piece of me coming out, right? But no, they ramp you resources. They ramp you ink. But they're also a body where they can quest or they can attack or do whatever. So I do like that. Phil gives support. This is fine. I feel like I would rather just... Wait, they're not even running Aurora. They're not even running the 2-cost Aurora. Yeah, this would have to be Aurora for me, the card Phil here. And I'd be running 4 of them. I don't know about Aladdin. Like, personally, I don't know. Let me see something. Yeah, 3-cost 2/2. When you play this character, each opponent loses 1. It is nice to have those kind of effects, to be honest, because sometimes they can just like randomly win you the game. But I don't care as much about having that as opposed to having the 2-cost Aurora, so that way you could shift on turn 3 straight into Aurora Dreaming Guardian. But you could tell that their turn 3 play is Mickey Mouse. Like, that's what they want their turn 3 play to be. But I disagree. I think you should want your turn 3 play to be Aurora Dreaming Guardian, like going from the 2-cost into the shifting 3. Belle's a 2-of. That's fine. I like that because at late games when it really thrives. Maui's a 4-of. Yeah, this card's a beater. It's a real bruiser. Robin Hood, 4 of these. That seems a little high. I'm not gonna lie. I think 3 Robin Hood might be a little better. Same thing with Aladdin. 3 Aladdin. I would not run Maleficent at all personally, but if I were to run it, I'd go down to a 2-of. 4 to develop your brain. 4 the Hades is fine. 4 Let It Go. 4 Dragonfire. I love that. 4 Be Prepared. I think maybe 2 or 3 would be enough. And then that would clear up a lot of spots for you to put in some other stuff, like some lower cost cards that can help you get to the late game a little better. You know, even something like, maybe then you would go up to 4 Aladdins with all the stuff we took out. But even what's her name? Well, okay, Belle is decent, first of all. Actually, yeah, I'd probably say Belle. But I was going to say Jasmine. Jasmine was a card I was going to say. And with all the cards that I was suggesting take out, it might be a good idea to go, like, you know, the 3-cost Jasmine into the shift 3 Jasmine. Because this has, when you play this character and whenever she quests, you may remove up to 2 damage from each of your characters. So that's nice. There was also this card. I was going to say there's also a really strong like vanilla body card that has no effect. Look at this, 5/3/6 that quests for 3. That might just be a good 5-drop in the deck. But yeah, I don't know. That's what I would do with this red blue sapphire deck for what they have of it. Okay, so next we will go into the guy, like I said, what's his name? Steadfast goes into a purple amethyst amber deck. And this one was pretty interesting. I'm just going to go to the decks. I'm not trying to rip off his video or anything. I'm just trying to go over the decks that he's talking about, because this is what's going to... This is expected to be the starting meta for this game. So first up here, excuse me, I don't know what I'm talking about. What I want to talk about first here is this deck I already like better than the last one. Because the most expensive card is, first of all, there's only 3 of them, and it's Dr. Facilier. This deck seems a lot more geared towards competitive play, like competition. Look at all these 1-drops. So you have 4 of your 1-cost Lilos that quest for 2, 4 of your Maleficent Biding Her Time that quest for 2. This is the 1-cost. I don't think it's inkable. It says it's inkable, but I don't believe it is. In fact, I'm like 99.999% sure that it's not. Let me, just to be sure, just to be safe, let's go ahead and look it up. Better safe than sorry. If it is, that seems absolutely broken. I'm not going to lie. Sorry if I passed it, guys. Here it is. Yeah, that is not an inkable card. In fact, what you can expect from the 1-cost 1/1s that quest for 2 that have no ability, those will not be inkable. It's a pattern that's starting to develop. Same thing with Lilo. See, that's correct. So yeah, Other than that, though, it's got a lot of card draw. Maleficent biding her time. This is a 4-cost 2/2 that quests for 1 that draws a card when it enters play. Friends on the other side is going to draw you cards. Rafiki is a rusher. What else? Pascal, very good at evasive character that just keeps gaining you lore. It runs Elsa, so it runs only 2 Elsa, which I kind of like that, because I don't think Elsa is a card you want to fill up the board with. Maybe she is. I don't know. We'll have to see. But generally speaking, she has to exert as well to exert characters, right? So, like, when you get to her, you know, yes, you get to... where is she? I gotta find her real quick before I keep going. There she is. Like, yes, she can exert a character. So it could be like a 9-cost Maleficent. But that's kind of the whole point, right? Is it probably would never be a Maleficent, because Maleficent would come in and just destroy this, banish this card. And how many times, I don't know. Like I said, there are cards that are going to be able to deal with it, like from your songs or from your actions, like you know, comboing things like Tinkerbell with Grab Your Swords. It's going to be able to wipe that up. Or Be Prepared is just going to clear the whole board. So it's good to have just 2 of Elsa. I do like that. I think that's a good amount. And then, of course, it's got Stitch. So you see it's got... Stitch hits, what is it, every 2 cost or less? Yeah. So whenever you play a character with cost 2 or less, you may exert them to draw a card. So notice you're not exerting Stitch to draw a card. You're exerting the card you're playing to draw a card. Well, there are cards in here that have extremely powerful synergy with that, like Simba. Simba is a bodyguard. So you want him to be exerted anyway. Let's see if it says it on here. Let me go back a little bit. Oh, well, yeah, I'm just going to have to look it up for y'all real quick to show y'all. So y'all can get an idea what I'm saying. It is Simba, Protective Cub. So, okay, you're going to want to tap this card down anyway, exert it. Well, if you have Stitch down, you're going to draw a card and he's bodyguard now. So that has incredible synergy. So far, I know we've only looked through 2. I have seen this video just to get a rough idea of what he was going to say, but I haven't really, you know, broken down every deck like what I'm doing with y'all right now. But this deck so far looks much stronger for a tournament to me than this one did. So yeah, let's, and by the way, y'all tell me what y'all think as well. I want to know what decks y'all think are going to be the strongest out of all 5 of these that we look at today. Okay, so let's keep going. That was pretty much it to talk about here. It's got Be Our Guest and Befuddle, some nice early game stuff. Well, Befuddle's good for disrupting their early game, their early curves. And then Befuddle, or excuse me, that was one I just said. What was it? Be Our Guest. Be Our Guest is the one where you can, this one here, where you can look at the top 4 cards of your deck and reveal a character card and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So this will be good for searching for, like, your Stitch, getting that down as soon as possible. Okay, very cool. All right, so let's keep going. So that was Amethyst Amber, and the next one we're going to talk about is Amber Steel. Okay, I'm just going to go straight to the deck list, like I said, and I just want to talk about the deck. Okay, so we're seeing Simba, Protective Cub, and Stitch again with Be Our Guest. Starting to see some cards that are, you know, a recurring theme here. And I think they're onto something. Is this too loud? Hang on a second. Make sure my music's not too loud. No, that's fine. That's fine. I think that there's a recurring theme here of Stitch plus Be Our Guest plus Simba plus the 1-cost Stitch plus Lilo is just a great little 20-piece, you know, card. How do I say this? Those 20 cards, 4 of each of those, by the way, 4 Stitch, 4 Be Our Guest, 4 of the small Stitch, 4 of Lilo, and 4 of Simba Protective Cub. That might just be an auto-include in any kind of Amber list, or any list that you don't know what to combo with the color you want to play. That is just going to be a strong base, if that makes sense. Now, for the Steel stuff, Captain Hook, Forceful Duelist, Simba, Future King. Future King, I don't remember what that one does. Hang on one second, guys. Let's look it up. So now we're over to Amber Steel. Future King is, let's take a look. guess what? When you play this character, you may draw a card, then choose and discard. Oh, nice. So more ways to get through your deck, to cycle through your deck. Because you're going to have 4 Be Our Guest, where we're going to be able to search top 4. Then 4 Simba, Future King. That's going to allow you to, you know, look through a card as well. And real quick, let me see something. When you play this character, you may draw a card. Yeah, so you're going to be, if you have down Stitch, you're going to be able to play this card. Okay, and then when you play this character, you may draw a card, then choose and discard a card, and then choose to tap it down and draw a card from Stitch as well, correct? I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to do it like that. Let's read Stitch real quick just to make sure. Went down too far. Yeah, whenever you play a character with cost 2 or less, you may exert them to draw a card. Yeah, so there you go. And they're running Rapunzel, gifted with healing. This card is just insane. I think it's incredibly good. You know, I didn't really critique this deck as much because I feel like it is right on track to be what it needs to be. And this, because it splashes Amethyst, I think this deck can get around not running the Rapunzel gifted with healing. For those who don't know, let me show you what that card does. It heals and draw. Here it is. So 4 cost inkable, 1/5 that quests for 2. Those stats already are sticky and you like it, right? Like we like our characters like that. But look what else it does. When you play this character, remove up to 3 damage from one of your characters. Draw a card for each 1 damage removed this way. So if someone's got 3 damage on them, you can draw 3 cards off of it and you healed your character, right? So that's just incredibly powerful. In fact, I would almost say, let me see how much they're running in this deck, in the Amber Steel deck. They're running 4. See, I actually feel like that'd be better as like a 2 or a 3 of in the deck. Like, yes, you can always ink it. That's for sure. But yeah, I think I still would say that it's better as like a 2 or 3 of. Just giving you more options. Because there is a lot of cycle this deck is running. This deck's running 4 of the 3 cost Tinkerbell. This is a cycle ability as well. It's running 4 of the Simba. It's running 4 Be Our Guest. It's running 4 of A Whole New World. I would also take that down to a 2 of personally. If not completely removing it, because it does have the potential of giving your opponent better cards. But it could disrupt them as well. And, you know, there's an argument to be made either way. 4 Tinkerbell, just incredible. You know, the 3 cost Tinkerbell and 6 cost Tinkerbell are extremely powerful. It's running 4 smashes. It doesn't need to run the 4... what's the 2 cost one? Fire the Cannons, or is it 1 cost? It's 1 or 2 cost. Excuse me. It's got 4 of the Forceful Duelist to get early game pressure, and 4 Grab Your Sword. And notice how many, again, so many 1s and 2s going down. That's going to help you get early board control and gain as much lore as possible. And then late game, it's going to be able to combo off with Stitch, where you're just going to... You're basically... I think the idea is this, and maybe this is why they run 4 of A Whole New World. The idea is going to be, okay, I play my Stitch, and now you have 1 turn. Like, you're going to have 1 more turn to try and win this game, because otherwise I'm just going to A Whole New World and play an entire hand of these guys up here, the 1 cost and 2 cost characters. So, and then it's got a Beast. This is good for taking out items, right? Let me make sure. Got the, this one. Yeah, Hard-Headed. When you play this character, you may banish chosen item. Seems like a tech choice, like a meta choice, but that's fine, right? It depends on what's in the meta, right, to make this kind of choice. Okay, very solid. I think this deck is extremely good. So out of these 2 so far, I think I still like the purple amethyst one, or the amethyst amber a little better. But it's hard to say. You guys tell me what y'all think. I think they're both very good, but well, I'll say it like this. I feel like the steel version has a little more cycle, whereas the amethyst version has just flat out card draw. Just like, oh, okay, you know, Maleficent Sorceress, I'll just draw a card. And then Friends on the Other Side, I'll draw 2 cards. And then this has access to both of the 1 cost quest for 2 characters. Yeah, but I think they're both very, very close in power level. Okay, next up, we got, looks like they called it Lemon Lime Aggro. I like that. Our what is this, our fourth deck, right? So we've gone over an a Ruby Sapphire deck. We've gone over an Amethyst Amber deck, and then a Amber Steel deck, and now we're going over a Emerald Amber deck. So again, yet another deck with Amber. I have to go. Okay, I was gonna say it's the last deck and have Amber as well, but no. Same premise though, same idea with this deck. You just want to get down Stitch Rockstar. You want to flood the board once you get him down, and just say, all right, to your opponent, you say, okay, man, or all right, girl, whatever. Like, you've got one more turn to win the game because I'm going to quest for like 50 next turn. With all these characters I have down. But yeah, this deck, there's not too much. Well, I guess we haven't talked about the green cards yet. One thing about this deck that is impressive is look at all of these three lore questing characters. 4 Kuzco, 4 Mad Hatter, and 4 Hans. That's a 4, 5, 6 curve right here, guys. Y'all see that? Really incredible 4, 5, 6 curve. Where you'll just go Hans into Kuzco or Mad Hatter. It doesn't matter. They both quest for 3 into Stitch. Or, you can play Stitch on turn 4 if you have the 1-cost Stitch down. It's just, okay, I do really like this deck. I'm not going to lie. What is the average quest amount on here? It looks like 2. Because like when you look at this, 2, 2, 2, 2. There are some 1s in here mixed around, but then 2, 2, and then 4 3s, and more 2s down here with Genie. Mother Knows Best. Let me see what that does real quick. I don't remember that one. Okay. Mother Knows Best. Let's take a look at this one real quick. There's Mother Gothel. Where is it? Did I pass it? I'm sorry, guys. There it is. Return chosen character to their player's hand. Oh, okay, so that's just a flat-out bounce spell or action that you can actually sing for free. Yep, Mother Knows Best, man. That's very, very powerful. Whenever one of your characters quests this turn, each opponent loses 1 lore. I think Steal from the Rich would be pretty dirty as well. But with a deck like what we were just looking at, they don't really care about that. They're just going to quest out with they're just going to, just combo out with Stitch Rockstar. Very powerful. Very, very powerful. Okay, yeah, this deck looks pretty powerful. And green has some really frustrating mechanics, like bouncing cards back to their hand with Mother Knows Best. Flynn Rider and Cheshire Cat are both very annoying for those who don't know or don't remember what those cards do. I'm going to read it so I don't mess it up. Where is it? Flynn Rider, 2 cost 1, 2, quest for 2. Whenever this character is challenged, the challenging player chooses and discards a card. That is brutal, guys. That is brutal. You don't want that to happen, right? And then the other one, Cheshire Cat, 3 costs, that quest for 2. When this character is challenged and banished, banish the challenging character. So you see how you're just frustrating your opponent, to no end, right? And they're also running the 6-cost Genie, this one right here. 6 costs, evasive, 3, 4, quest for 2. When you play this character, you may return chosen character to their player's hand. So you're just bouncing cards back to the hand. You're making them discard cards. I really like this deck. I feel like the decks are getting better as we go further and further down. Though I will say, out of the Steel, all right, combining Amber, there's 3 different things you can combine it with, right? And they're all the exact same Amber list for the most part. You can combine it with Steel, Amethyst, or this Emerald. And out of the 3, I'm really liking this Emerald the best so far. Because this is actually helping you get control of the board. Like, yeah, it doesn't have the same amount of card draw or cycle as Steel and what you call it, Steel and oh gosh, sorry guys, and Amethyst. But it has so much ways to bounce characters, banish, and everything. Big fan of this deck. I don't have much critique to offer it as far as like improvement or anything like that. So let's see. What else? Let me go to the last one. All right, so this is the last deck, guys. This deck right here seems all over. Look at it. It takes up the entire screen. That's not a bad thing, actually. It shows that a lot of thought was put into this. A lot of thought was put into this deck. A lot of 2-of slots. I love to see that. A lot of tech choices here and there. Olaf, Rafikius, 2-ofs, Jafar. And it's running Gaston. Remember, this card's like a 2-cost Inkable, 4/2 Reckless that Kenny Quest is just for getting early control. It's running 4 Friends on the other side, 4 Be Prepared to clear the board up, 3 Befuddles, 4 Dragonfires, 4 Maleficent. I'm sorry, guys. I don't feel Maleficent. It's not a card that I think, yes, the card is powerful, but are you even... My question is this. The game is still early enough, and y'all tell me what y'all think. Please, guys, share y'all's thoughts and opinions on this. Are we even going to try to put down 9 resources? Like, that's 9 cards from your hand, that don't get to be used. They just go down on the board. But anyway, y'all see what I'm saying. I don't know. I just think in a deck like this, other than Maleficent, your biggest character, well, you do have an 8. You have 8-cost Elsa. But that Elsa can be shifted, can it? Let me see something real quick, guys. I think. I could be wrong about that. So it was Amber with Ruby. Yeah, it can be shifted for 6, but still, that is a very big character. It's very powerful. It has, when you play this character, up to 2 chosen characters. They can't ready at the start of their next turn. So it is very powerful control. But I'll say this, generally speaking, I think this deck, I think it has kind of a weaker early game, but I do see where that's why they need the Gastons, the Dr. Facilier 2 drop, the Elsa 3 drop, the Maleficent for drawing cards, the Friends on the other side for drawing cards, Befuddle to pop cards back. So, okay, I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to say, okay, no, I don't care about any of your early game stuff. I just want to push you back and get to the late game where I know I have better cards than you. Maui's very powerful. The 3-4-5 curve seems very good in this deck. Like going Maleficent, and then next turn, drawing 2 cards with Friends on the other side by singing it, going into Jafar, and then going into Maui. Like, that seems very good. It kind of seems almost mid-rangey to control, this deck right here. It seems very good. I do like how it has the Aladdins, because I think it's going to be important to slow down our opponent. But here's my question. How does this deck deal with... Well, no, it's got 4 Be Prepareds. Because my question was going to be, how does it deal with these decks that run Stitch? Yeah, Be Prepared can deal with it, but it will also wipe your board up as well. So you're going to need a character to sing it with, like Aladdin, Elsa, or Maleficent, or Dr. Facilier. And then you could start playing out cards from hand and get board control and shift the tempo. It's got Magic Mirror, which is really good. Yeah, I think this is a really well thought out and strong list. I will say that right away. I don't see this as being this as being bad or anything. Because I haven't got a chance to play the game yet. It's not even out, by the way. I think people have found a way to play it on like some kind of simulator or something. But I haven't got to play this game yet, and I I should have proxied up cards and just kind of play tested with friends, but it's kind of hard to find time for all that kind of stuff. But I will be play testing this game, no worries there. But real quick, back to what I was talking about. I wonder how well this deck does in the early game. Like, I see it has Gaston. Anyone you turn sideways, he's going to smack down. I see it as Elsa, which is going to be a way to tap down characters so Gaston can smack them down, right? And Dr. Facilier is just, 2 cost, 0/4. And I think he has Challenger 2, so he's just good at beating down cards. Rafiki as well, 3 cost that can just beat in with Rush. Yeah, it does seem very solid, very sturdy deck. Well, all right, guys, I'm not going to ramble on too much, with this this video. What do you guys think? Is there a color choice that was not shown that you guys think will be just flat out better than what we've seen, or is there a list that was shown in this video by Steadfast that you're like, yeah, that's the deck I want to play? And as usual, guys, if there's anything I missed, if there's any kind of questions or things I missed, don't be afraid to just tell me, right? Just be like, hey man, I think you missed this or anything like that, because I'm learning a lot of this stuff as well. But yeah, soon I'm going to come up with an updated list on the deck that I'm running, because I'll tell you what, the list that I'm running, I would not mind running into this list right here, because it seems a little slow to me. Whereas I'm going to try to just, get down my Aurora, and then I just want to combo out. Now, this deck does have a lot of removal and a lot of bounce, right? It had the Befuddles, it had the Dragonfires, of course it has the Be Prepared. So I'm not saying this deck, you know, couldn't beat the deck that I'm trying to put together. But I am anxious to see how things play out. I want to see how fast the game feels. Like, will there be a lot of time for setup? Or will there be almost no time for setup, right? Like, you know, that is something that will only come with playtesting and watching people play and so on and so forth. All right, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and you know, it was nice taking a little break from One Piece just to come check out this game, because all I'm doing right now is like eating, sleeping, you know, breathing One Piece at the moment. So it is nice to kind of hop over to this and see how Lorcana's doing, and Flesh and Blood and all the other games I check out. So, all right, guys, I hope you all enjoyed, and as usual, please like, please subscribe, and it's much appreciated. And until next time, guys, peace.